I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
And I'm Ezra Ortiz.
You are not Rick Probst. You
Not
are
Rick.
Ezra Ortiz.
Yeah, no, not Rick. Yeah,
You
not
are you are
not
the.
nearly as good looking.
Oh, come on now. You've got the dark beard, and
He's got the
you've got.
gray though, and I like the gray. So
Yeah, he's got the wise beard.
yeah.
But Tom and I both are here without beard. So there you go. Anyway, we're talking to Tom Darrow, the founder of CareerSpa.net and also TalentConnections.net. We're going to talk about those two ventures that he's got going on. But Tom, first of all, we got to address the elephant in the room, or the leprechaun in the room, with the Irish lamp you've got back there and the big Green Bay Packers helmet you've got back there. Tell us all about it.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm a little bit of a football fan. Turns out my father went to school at Notre Dame. I went there. My sister went there. So that explains that one. And then the Green Bay, my whole family's from Green Bay. Turns out both of my grandfathers were original shareholders of the Packers. And we are season ticket holders, shareholders, all that good stuff. So
Wow.
Go Pack, go, and go Irish.
Now, how did you end up? Are you in Atlanta, or are you?
Yeah, out of Atlanta.
Okay, so how did you end up in Atlanta from up there into north up there, eh?
Yeah, well, I can't believe it. 35 years ago, last week, I graduated from Notre Dame and with a degree in accounting, and moved to Atlanta to work for Price Waterhouse as an auditor. Okay. And just wanted to come south, love the weather, and love Atlanta, and moved down.
Awesome.
Okay, how often do you get to go up to Wisconsin? You said you're a season ticket holder.
Yeah, several times a year. We don't go to too many games anymore. Just a little cold up there. And,
yeah,
just a tad.
Yeah.
But we get up to see family for sure.
Awesome. All right. So you talked about working at Price Waterhouse. You worked there for several years, right?
I did.
And then you decided there's a change. There was a change brewing, and you talk about how Talent Connections came about.
Yeah. Well, I was in corporate HR. I really moved from auditing at Price Waterhouse into HR. Spent about 6 more years there. Years later, went to Accenture. Worked as a talent acquisition leader there, or recruiter there. And then really 20 some years ago, I had some mentors that said, Tom, you got to go out on your own. And I said, what? I said, entrepreneur, I can't even spell entrepreneur. Become an entrepreneur. And well, long story short, I launched our company 24 years ago, Talent Connections, to do recruiting consulting. It was to help organizations improve their hiring process. And that has certainly evolved over the years. Now we're mostly known for doing HR executive search. So placing heads of HR, heads of talent acquisition, roles like that for, major companies, mid-sized companies, even small companies that need their first head of HR.
Yeah, very, very cool. So you're placing these people for HR, and I know I saw some of your email exchanges, and you helped place Dr. Ike Reichard for Must Ministries. So wow. You've got a couple cool stories in you. Maybe share one of those cool stories of part of the journey of getting to place these awesome people with these organizations.
Oh, sure. Well, 2 quick ones come to mind. That's one of them. Dr. Reichard. Knew him from back when he was at Home Bank, and he was the chief people officer. And we were chosen to do the search for the executive director for Must Ministries up in Cobb County. And long story short, he got the job, and he's been there ever since. I think it's 12 or 15 years he's been there.
Right.
Doing an awesome job. Another fun search was in 2015 when Mercedes-Benz moved their corporate headquarters from New Jersey to Atlanta. That was a big deal for Atlanta. And we got chosen to do the very first search that they had, and that was for head of talent acquisition. They needed to hire a head of recruiting who was going to build a team and then help them hire about 500 corporate people in about 4 months. And end up placing someone who was a recruiter at Home Depot. His name is Lars Mins. Awesome guy. And he, about a year or 2 later, got promoted to head of talent management. And about 2 years later, got promoted to head of HR.
Wow.
So he's now the head of HR for Mercedes-Benz North America over in Sandy Springs.
So Tom, talk about your process. What is it that's different about Talent Connections?
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is we've all been in HR. So we've been in the chair. So we have that perspective, that expertise, but we just have a passion for HR. I mean, we love what HR can do. And, I heard someone speak years ago at a conference, and she was a very wise person, and in fact served with Mother Teresa back in the day. And wow. Somebody asked her what her take on was on the world today, what's going on. She said hurting people hurt people, healed people heal people, We need to heal people.
Mm.
And I thought, you know what, that is it. That is fantastic. And I thought, HR, human resources, we call it human resources, HR. But what about healing resources?
Mm.
I mean, that's part of what HR does. Is HR heals organizations, leaders, people, as HR does its work. So we love the impact that HR has when done well in an organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful. I've definitely heard that saying, like hurt people, right? I mean, that you just can't help but that you have things come to your mind when you hear that, and you just know that to be true instinctively. So you've also got Talent Connections, and then you've also got Career Spa. Talk to us a little bit about Career Spa.
Yeah, well, Career Spa came along about 13 years ago. So we were about 10 years in with Talent Connections. And we just saw a need to help people optimize their career. Through the years, there have been X% of people that have been unemployed, but typically that's pretty low, right? 5%, 10%. But then they say that as much as 80% of all people are misemployed, meaning they have a job, but it's not the job they want. And we thought, you know what, we've got really good expertise being recruiters, knowing recruiters, placing recruiters. I mean, we know what recruiters and hiring managers look for in a resume, in an interview, on LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. So why don't we share that expertise with people and really help them manage their career? People don't learn how to manage their career. So, now they say the kids out of college are going to have 17 job changes in their career. Well, I mean, who's helping them with that, right? Who's helping them optimize those changes? And so we launched Career Spa to help people bridge the gap from where they are in their career to where God wants them to be. And a lot of times they don't even step back to assess what that looks like. And so we're really honored to help a lot of unemployed and a lot of misemployed people really, get back on track or get further along the track on their career journey.
Tom, talk about the change that we've seen. I mean, not just in recent years, it's been brewing for a while, but back in the day, back in the 50s, people stayed in jobs forever. I mean, you started in a job and you retired in that job. But now, like you said, people today are going to change jobs 17 times. Why that change?
Well, a lot of things. I mean, we can get philosophical and talk about selfishness and wanting everything now and things like that. Part of it, though, is just there are so many more options. I mean, when I think of when my dad got out of college in 1960, I mean, probably he could be an accountant, which he was, or a fireman, or a policeman, or a doctor, or a teacher, or I don't know, in a factory. It just seems like now there are, hundreds of thousands of different occupations that you could possibly navigate to. We also have people like us, recruiters, that are calling people every day saying, hey, are you happy in your job? Well, yesterday was good, but today's not so good. So what do you got for me, right? Yeah. And so we're throwing, I mean, just like marketing for consumer goods. I mean, we're throwing new opportunities in front of people, every day. And so something often comes along, even if you're not necessarily looking, that's enticing, that makes somebody leave. And so it's almost like the old fire drill where somebody leaves a role, well, then you got to backfill the role. Well, then somebody leaves that role. So here we go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's great. I think, speaking for folks, who are maybe in my generation, I think that is definitely that you just see that evolve. I mean, I know plenty of people that are, they're always trying to move to the thing that's going to make them feel the most fulfilled. And so I think it's so cool to have an organization that kind of helps along in that process, because on the one hand, it's like you don't want to be stuck in a job that you absolutely hate, that is just absolutely soul sucking, but and so then you kind of have to navigate, if I don't want to stay here, what is next? And so it's cool to have that, to have Career Spa be an option for people.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I think a key is to somebody look at it as a job or a calling. Right? I mean, people look at me all day. They say, "Tom, you work all the time." I'm like, "Work? I don't work at all. This is what I'm called to do. I'm just living out my life." And so that's a big part of it. Is kind of looking selflessly. Is how is our job, our career? How is it a platform to give back? How is it a platform? As we always say at our company, how do we serve God by serving others? I mean, that's really, if we could all look at our jobs that way, I think things would be a lot different.
How many times when you're working with folks at Career Spa, Tom, do you see the light bulb go off and you see them go, you know what? I knew I needed some kind of change and I just didn't know what it was, but now I see what I'm really passionate about, and thank you for helping me to get there.
We love it, especially when it's not a 25 or 40 watt light bulb, but about 1,000 watt. Right? We love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times it's just because the person has been doing the grind, right, for years, and they just haven't even taken the time to really assess what's their calling, what's their passion. And it changes in your life very often. And so no, we're just honored and blessed to help so many people that way. And we'll see how long we can do it.
Awesome. CareerSpa.net is the website to go to for Career Spa, obviously, and then TalentConnections.net, the other one. So check it out. And especially if you've been thinking, if you just had that itch, like, I need a change, but I just don't know what to do. I'm afraid to leave, let the folks like Tom help you out and see what is possible and what might be able to happen for you. So, Tom, we appreciate what you do and appreciate you coming on talking to us. Let's talk again sometime and talk a little deeper about it. That'd be great.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thanks a lot,
it.
Tom.
And I guess go cheeseheads and wear that cheesehead when you go flying on an airplane. Okay. Tom Darrow, he's the founder of CareerSpa.net. Check it out. We will be right back. I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
And I'm Ezra Ortiz.
This is Faith Talk Live.